Copy all. And Station Houston, you are hot mic.
DB1 copies. DB2 copies.
And copy, we've got good voice, and just let you know we're 2 minutes out for a 12-minute LOS, and you are prime IV, and you're go to press.
I copy prime IV, go to press. Thanks so much.
And we did just hear that confirmation from the ground that the crew is go to continue depressurization. First up, they'll close the hatch, which Alnayati and Rubio are working together to do, as you can see on your screen.
This latch is going to close. Good luck. We'll see you in a little bit. Yep. Talk to you later.
Thank you so much. Great job.
Great job. Sound awesome.
And you did see that hatch just get closed. We are in an expected handover between ground stations, so we are not going to expect to have video of the crew on board the International Space Station for the next 11.5 minutes. However, we do know that they're going to continue the depressurization process as they have the go from the ground to do so. And if you're just joining us this morning, we have 2 spacewalkers who are suited up and in the process of working through depressurization procedures. Today they will exit the station's Quest airlock to install an upgraded iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, on the 1A power channel on the starboard truss of the International Space Station. We do have an animation to walk us through what we can expect our spacewalkers to complete today, so let's take a quick look.
This video is for the ISS Roll-Out Solar Array, or iROSA, 1A install EVA. Steve Bowen, EV1 with the red stripes, egresses and receives a crew lock bag and puts it on his body restraint tether. EV2 with white stripes, Woody Hoberg, egresses with the crew lock bag on his body restraint tether and closes the thermal cover. EV1 translates up the forward face of the truss and goes starboard. He stops to configure safety tethers. EV2 follows a similar translation path and goes to the port crew equipment translation aid cart to temporarily stow his bag and retrieve an articulating portable foot restraint. Meanwhile, EV1 translates to the iROSA carrier, stows his bag, and retrieves his pistol grip tool. EV1 begins preparing iROSA for removal from the carrier, first releasing a restraint bolt on the upper iROSA. EV2 relocates the foot restraint and installs it on the space station's robotic arm. EV2 ingresses the foot restraint, and then the arm will move him away from the truss. EV1 translates to the lower iROSA and releases its first restraint bolt. He releases both anti-rotation devices back on the upper iROSA, and then will stow them in the crew lock bag. On the robotic arm, EV2 is flown over to access two sets of bolts on the boom end of the upper iROSA. The first two bolts will allow the boom deployment system rollers to be moved into place to help with the array deployment later in the spacewalk. The second two bolts will release two of four mechanisms that hold the iROSA in its rolled-up configuration. EV1 partially releases the upper iROSA's restraint bolt and installs the first of two handling aids called scoops and prep for removing iROSA from the carrier. The arm flies EV2 over to the hinge end of the upper iROSA, and both crew members work to release the final bolt holding it to the carrier. EV1 installs a second scoop, and EV2 lifts the iROSA off of the carrier. After several maneuvers on the robotic arm, EV2 will arrive at the 1A mod kit worksite. During these maneuvers, EV1 will pick up the temporarily stowed bag from the port cart and reconfigure both crew's safety tethers, on his way to meet EV2 at the mod kit. Both crew will then work to install iROSA onto the 1A mounting bracket. The crew will release the scoops, and EV2 will move into position to release the final bolt, holding iROSA in its folded position. Once released, EV1 will hold iROSA closed while EV2 egresses his foot restraint and gets into position. Both crew will then work together to unfold iROSA and secure the right side onto the mounting bracket. Once secured, EV2 will drive two hinge bolts that hold iROSA in the unfolded position. EV2 will then move away from iROSA to reconfigure a safety tether on the arm. EV1 works to drive 8 bolts to fully secure the iROSA to the mounting bracket. Both crew will then work to electrically connect the new iROSA to the ISS power system. They'll first attach 4 connectors to iROSA, then both will move to either side of the legacy array to disconnect the old array and connect a Y cable. This will allow power to flow from both the new iROSA and the legacy array to the space station power system. At this point, EV1 moves into a deployment viewing position, and EV2 will release the final 2 bolts restraining iROSA in the undeployed position. iROSA will deploy over the next 6 to 10 minutes. During deployment, EV1 translates back to the iROSA carrier to reconfigure the carrier beams that previously held the upper iROSA. These beams need to be rotated out of the way to allow access to the lower iROSA on the second EVA. Once deployment is complete, EV2 will release 2 bolts that allow the iROSA blankets to become tensioned. EV2 then cleans up the mod kit worksite, retrieving his crew lock bag, and heads to the carrier to help EV1 with the carrier beams. The crew members will work together to release the bolts holding the beams in place. Then they will rotate the beams out of the way and secure them back down. This is the last task in the first EVA. Both crew will clean up the worksite and translate back to the airlock. They will clean up their tethers on the way. They will then work to ingress and begin repressing the airlock. This will finish the first of 2 EVAs.
And that is a high-level overview of what we can expect from today's spacewalk. If you're just joining us, two NASA astronauts are currently suited up and in the crew airlock and are working their way through depressurization procedures. Today's spacewalkers are NASA astronaut Steve Bowen, and today will be his 9th spacewalk, as well as NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg, who will be completing his first spacewalk. Bowen and Hoberg will venture outside for a spacewalk expected to last about 7 hours today, the focus of which will be on the starboard truss of the International Space Station to install and monitor the deployment of one of the iROSAs, or ISS Roll-Out Solar Array, both of which were delivered on a SpaceX Cargo Dragon resupply vehicle on Monday to the space station. And today's spacewalk is the 264th in support of space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades. This is the 7th spacewalk in 2023 and the 5th spacewalk for Expedition 69. As we mentioned, it's the 9th spacewalk for Bowen, who has a cumulative spacewalking time of over 54 hours across 8 previous spacewalks. The iROSA that the crew will install today is 60 feet long and 20 feet wide. It shades a little more than half of the original or legacy arrays, which are 112 feet long by 39 feet wide. Each new iROSA produces more than 20 kilowatts of electricity, and once all the iROSAs are installed, it will enable a 30% increase in power production over the International Space Station's current arrays. And we are in a loss of signal period as we have a handover between satellites. However, we are expecting communications and video to be back here in less than a minute. During this loss of signal period, the crew has been stepping through procedures in order to work through depressurization of the airlock. This is done in a 2-stage process. First, the crew lock goes down to 5 pounds per square inch of pressure, at which point that depressurization will be paused to do a systems check. And then following this, depressurization will resume to bring it all the way down to the vacuum. Now, once that vacuum is reached, the two spacewalkers will complete some additional suit and comm checks before placing their spacesuit on internal battery power, officially marking the start of today's spacewalk. And pressure inside of the crew lock is about 7.27 pounds per square inch. Again, we'll pause once that pressure reaches 5 pounds per square inch.
And Station Houston on 1, we're back with you, voice only.
Nick, we have you live and clear, copy, voice only, thanks. And Stephen, what do you guys copy? You have about 100 millimeters of mercury to go.
If you want copy. Yep, Frank, I copy. I see airlock P 6.5. Yep, I agree.
Pressure inside the crew lock now at 6.35 pounds per square inch of pressure. Now less than 6 pounds per square inch of pressure inside the crew lock. Again, once we do reach 5 pounds per square inch, that depressurization will be paused to do a systems check. Everything's still looking good for depressurization, now at 5.18 pounds per square inch of pressure inside the crew lock.
What is the next action is going to be for you? We have about 10 to go.
I copy, Frank, standing by.
Woody, depress pump, man ISO valve closed. Both of you can expect an alert tone.
Closed.
And copy closed. Okay, next thing we're going to do is a leak check. So you'll both take your switch display status until leak check question mark is displayed. Hold that for 2 seconds, and then follow the displayed instructions.
In work, UV1. UV2 in work.
And pressure inside the crew lock is now at 5 pounds per square inch of pressure. So you did hear those words about the systems check that are occurring now. Following the systems check, depressurization will resume and continue all the way down to vacuum. And once vacuum is reached, the 2 spacewalkers will complete some additional suit and communication checks before they place their spacesuit on internal battery power, officially marking the start of today's spacewalk. And following this, the crew will, of course, exit the airlock and begin working to get that iROSA installed.
Check complete, EV1. Moving to EVA. That'll be a minute. Same for EV2.
Copy, good. Leak check for both. Good news. And then correct, you both want your O2 actuators to EVA. Let me know when that's complete.
EV2's in EVA. EV1's in EVA.
The O2 actuator EVA for both Woody and Steve. Nice job. Woody, you're going to take the depress pump man ISO valve to open. Both of you can expect an alert tone.
Copy. Press pump man ISO valve is open.
Okay, emergency MPEV is also open. Both of you continue to monitor your suit pressure gauge. Make sure that it remains less than 5.5. Again, if it ever goes above 5.5, let us know and we'll stop the depress.
EV1 copy. EV2 copy.
Woody, the next action will be at 2 PSI.
Copy, I see it.
And those system checks looking good. Depressurization is continuing as expected. Pressure inside the crew lock now less than 4 pounds per square inch of pressure. Pressure inside the crew lock now approaching 3 pounds per square inch of pressure. And we are getting a view back inside of the equipment lock here, where NASA astronaut Frank Rubio on the left and United Arab Emirates astronaut Sultan Al Nayati continue to step through depressurization procedures with Hoburg and Bowen, who are inside the crew lock. Pressure inside the crew lock now at 2.68 pounds per square inch of pressure. Once vacuum is reached inside the crew lock, the two spacewalkers will complete additional suit and communication checks before they do place their spacesuit on internal battery power, which will mark the official start of today's spacewalk. A U.S. spacewalk start and end time is measured from the time the crew places their spacesuit on internal battery power.
And Woody, we're at 123, continuing to 103.
Copy, Frank, thanks. You see 2.1.
Now closing in on 2 pounds per square inch of pressure inside the International Space Station's crew lock.
Okay, Woody, we're at 103. Depress pump man ISO valve closed.
Closed.
Copy, closed. Woody on the UIA, switch depress pump power off, OFF.
Depress pump power is off.
Okay, guys, I will turn you over to Jenny for your initial tether config. And Jenny, you are prime.
Copy, I'm prime. Ready for the config.
Great. Jenny, I'm in a great position to read you the config starting at the airlock D-ring extender.
Go.
All right. Airlock D-ring extender, I have my left waist tether, gate closed, locked, block on block. The waist tether small hook is on my left D-ring extender. Gate closed, locked, block on block. Also on my left D-ring extender, I have my red hook. Gate closed, locked, block on block. My red reel and green reels are both unlocked. The red reel's yellow hook is gate closed, locked, block on block to my green reel. The green reel's small green hook is gate closed, locked on my red reel. And the green reel's anchor hook goes to Steve's right waist tether. Okay, and that anchor hook and Steve's waist tether large hook are both gate closed, locked, block on block. Steve, over to you if you can see it. Yep. So we pick up with my waist tether, which is gate closed, slide lock, big hook that you just verified. The small hook is gate closed, slide lock on my D-ring extender. And then I have my safety tether, red hook, gate closed, slide lock on my right D-ring extender. The yellow hook is gate closed, slide lock to the green rail. Both reels are unlocked. I have the blank hook to my mini workstation. On my left-hand side, I have my left waist tether, gate closed, slide lock, and to my left D-ring extender, small hook, gate closed, slide lock. That's using a good config. All right, Woody, can I? Here we go.
Copy all. That
I need
is.
to get back so I can actually eventually open the hatch.
I copy all. We are in a good config.
Thanks so much, Jams, and good morning to you and the Orbit 2 team.
Good morning. We are happy to be here. Excited to work with all of you.
And you are now hearing the voice of Jenny Gibbons, who is the ground IV. She'll be stepping through procedures with the crew during today's spacewalk. And that pressure inside the crew lock now at vacuum.
Woody and Steve, we're continuing the deep press here. It'll take a couple of more minutes. When the crew lock DPDT is approximately 0, expect an alert tone.
81 copies. 82 copies.
That pressure inside the crew lock is continuing to approach vacuum. It's now at 0.97 pounds per square inch.
Hey, you guys crush it. Good luck out there. It's going to be fun to watch you guys do this.
Frank, we're depending on you. This is going to be good. You guys are going to work on this. It's going to work out really well.
Right.
Frank, thanks so much. You guys did a fantastic job IVing this morning. Thanks so much for everything.
Pleasure. We'll see you in a few hours.
Everything continuing to go smoothly this morning as NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg and Steve Bowen.
Tracking around 8 or 9 more minutes down to 0.5 psi.
Jay, that makes sense watching it go very slowly.
Sounds good.
Again, everything going smoothly so far this morning as we anticipate the spacesuits to be switched over to battery power here shortly as soon as those comm checks and system checks are completed. Following this, the crew will egress or exit the hatch after they open the thermal cover. And we are continuing to get views inside the International Space Station. You are seeing NASA astronaut Frank Rubio, who helped get Bowen and Hoberg suited up and ready to go this morning. All Nayati now floating into screen as well. Bowen and Hoberg are inside the crew lock, which continues to depress, now at 0.64 pounds per square inch, rapidly approaching vacuum. The goal of today's spacewalk is to install an upgraded iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, on the 1A power channel on the starboard truss of the space station. Today's iROSA installation will be the 5th installed on the space station. Pressure inside the crew lock now at 0.55 pounds per square inch of pressure. And pressure inside the crew lock now at 0.5 pounds per square inch of pressure.
Stephen Woody, we are at 0.5 psi. You are go to verify the EV hatch gauge is less than 0.6 psi and open the EV hatch.
I see the EV hatch at 0.4.
Copy 0.4, your go.
All right, getting ready to open the hatch. All right, hatch is open. Valve is coming closed.
Copy, Steve.
Equalization valve is closed. Hatch is open, equalization valve is closed.
And we are hearing that the hatch is open. Pressure inside the crew lock now at vacuum. Both Hoberg and Bowen are now going to work together to egress or exit the airlock.
Copy, Frank. Emergency MPEV closed. Now we are in post-depress. Woody and Steve on your DCMs. Switch power to BAT. Stagger your switch throws and expect a warning tone.
EV1 power to battery. Copy. EV2 going to battery. EV1 could be start blank, no bite. EV2 good restart, blank, no bite.
Copy. We verified you have a functional display. Switch power EV1 and 2 to off, OFF on the UIA.
All right, UIA, power EV1 and 2, both off.
Copy. Check power EV1 and 2 LEDs. All 4 are off, OFF.
4 LEDs off.
Copy, off. Switch display to Pro to verify functional display.
EV1 switch display functional. EV2 display functional.
Copy, 2 functional displays. You can disconnect your SCUs, install your DCM covers, and stow the SCUs in their pouches.
EV1 and work. EV2 and work. Right, EV1, correction EV2, SCU in the pouch. EV1 still getting his in the pouch.
Copy, EV1 and EV2 SCUs are in the pouches. On the check, depress pump menu, 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 pump.
Goodbye. All right, EV1, TTV, max hot.
Copy, EV1.
EV2, TTV, max hot.
Copy, EV2. Switch water on.
EV1 water on. EV2 water on.
check DCM blank byte off.
And at 8:25 a.m. Central Time this morning, the 264th spacewalk in support of station assembly maintenance and upgrades has begun.
Set your TCVs as desired. Report all subsequent changes to MCC.
EV1 set to... And EV2 also at 4.
Copy. Both TCVs set to 4. Report suit pressure gauge.
EV1 4.2. EV2 4.4.
Copy. 4.2 and 4.4. Set your visors as required. We have around 10 minutes till sunrise.
Copies. 2 copies.
All right, with that, Steve, you can open the thermal cover. We'll have you stow the hook on the stiffener tether point, cinch the strap, and report Sharpie lines visible.
All right, I get my tethers back to where they belong. They were bouncing around a bit.
And we are expecting the thermal hatch cover to open momentarily.
Okay, hook is released. Connected and... Hold on.
And we are seeing that thermal cover begin to open.
Steve is preparing to egress. You can retrieve crew lock bag M. You'll be stowing this on your BRT and handing crew lock bag T out to Steve.
Hey, Johnny, sounds great. All right, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines visible.
Copy, Steve. That's a good config. Egress the airlock.
Heading outside.
And we are seeing NASA astronaut Steve Bowen egress the airlock. He's designated EV1 today, and he'll be wearing that spacesuit with the red stripe, so he's the first out of the airlock.
My bearings here. Need no rush at all, but I've got crew lock bag Q when you're ready. Okay. Just give me a second.
Bowen is still inside the airlock. He'll egress here shortly, but first he's going to hand a crew lock bag to Steve.
Okay, let me get my BRT ready. Sounds good. You have the bag. I have the bag. Is stowed on my BRT and locked.
Houston, copy.
Sounds great, Steve. Awaiting your go to egress. All right. Trying to get my others clear. All right, right, and you have a go to egress.
Copy, go to egress, thanks.
After egress, you can both turn on your HECAs and perform buddy checks.
Hey, Jenny, thanks.
And next out of the airlock is going to be NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg, who is completing his very first spacewalk this morning. He'll be wearing the spacesuit with no stripes on it, the unmarked spacesuit, and his designation is EV2. Once both crew members are out of the airlock, they'll work to translate to their next location, but first they're going to turn the lights on their helmet cameras.
Stuff down so I can see everything through here.
Okay, again.
Both crew members now out of the airlock.
I'm gonna plan to be aft, Steve.
All right, I'm coming back around the other way then.
Sounds great. I'm in a great spot for buddy checks if you want to do them here.
Yeah, we'll just do them here.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Mark.
Houston's ready to copy buddy checks. Confirm your HECAs are on.
And I see, what are you saying this way? I see green light. Where's the other one? Your EMU-TV is off.
Is it? Okay. Goodbye.
Two separate handles down. And one tap up.
Just getting my crew lock bag on.
Yep, and just...
All right, Steve. Ready when you are.
All right, let me see. One thing left to check. Oh, your lights are pretty bright. Your EMU-TV still is not on yet.
Strange, I hit the button.
Oh, there it is. I see it now.
Okay.
Okay, and I see both safer handles down. I see two tabs up. And I see two green lights. And I see your lights are up.
All right, Steve, for you, I see two mini workstation tabs and a BRT tab, all three up. I see a green WVS light and a green HECA light. Your lights are on. Looking at tools and tethers. Your bag on your BRT. And you're looking good, Steve.
All right. I am.
And let me check your safer handles. 1, 2, both down. Looking good. I'm starting off. My gloves look good, and I have a dry hat.
And my gloves are good, and I have a dry hat as well.
Houston copies. Good buddy checks, good glove checks, and dry hats for both of you. You can tend the thermal cover closed, and Steve, you'll be translating to the anchor hook location. I have more words for you when you're on your way.
All right, give me 1 second. Get this cover closed, and then I'll be on my way.
I got the cover, Steve.
All right.
Yeah. And Jenny, I'll have to hold on fully closing the cover for my waist tether.
Copy. Just tend to close for now. Thanks, Woody.
And Bowen and Hoberg completed some initial checks to ensure everything is looking good on their suits. They're now going to get that thermal hatch cover closed.
Steve, I have a caution for you. Avoid contact with the deployed test cable.
Okay. Understand what contact with the test cable.
Good readback for you both. We're around 2 minutes to sunrise.
Okay. What's my mile marker, by the way?
You're looking for the FHRC, so S1 FHRC.
Okay, on my way.
And Hoberg is getting the thermal cover closed. Meanwhile, Bowen is translating up the forward face of the truss.
Steve, that mile marker is 6300.
6300, thank you.
Once the thermal cover is closed, Hoberg is going to follow a similar translation path, but he's going to stop at the port crew equipment translation aid cart, and he's going to pick up an articulating portable foot restraint. This is going to be required for him later in the spacewalk when he steps into it on the Canadarm2.
This is where you'll place your anchor hook. It's the nadirmost handrail under the FHRC. We're looking for the nadir stanchion.
All right, nadir stanchion. My blank hook, gate closed, slider locked. To the green reel, which is unlocked. The yellow hook is locked, gate closed, slider locked. The red reel, which is unlocked. To my right, the D-ring extender. Just gate closed, slider locked, and the green hook between the green and red wheels is gate closed, slider locked.
Copy. That's a good config, Steve. We need Woody's anchor hook on handrail 3247, which is the zenith handrail, just above yours.
Okay, that didn't work. Okay, Woody's hook. Gate closed, slider locked. As he's turning back to the airlock.
Copy. That is a good load path for Woody. You can give Woody the go to release his waist tether.
And would you have a go to release your waist tether?
Steve, I copy, picking it up.
Steve, you can now translate to the FSE worksite. You'll be dropping your green hook on S3, handrail 3011, which is nadir of the port Cedar cart.
3011. Out there now.
Copy. Steve, or Woody, excuse me. Once that's complete, you can close the thermal cover.
You broke up the jams, but close thermal cover.
Copy. Woody, once that's complete, you can translate. You are headed to the crew lock bag stowage location on the port Cedar cart.
All right, Jenny, I copy. Thanks.
Steve, when ready, I have cautions and a warning for you.
Okay, stand by. All right, we're doing awesome.
Warning, grapple shafts and curvet coupling are no touch. And cautions, no aggressive movements or quick grabs on the FSE. Translate slowly. Wait for motion to dampen out before imparting loads, and do not contact the iROSA blankets.
I understand and copy all.
And with the thermal cover closed, Hoburg is now working to translate to the flight support equipment work site. This is essentially a pallet that is currently holding the iROSAs.
Green wheel is coming to 3011. Green hook, I should say.
I copy your green hook on handrail 3011.
011 or 3011?
3011.
Okay.
Following this, Steve, you'll be translating onto the FSE via the POA.
And the crew is running about 10 minutes ahead of today's timeline. Today's spacewalk is unique in that once the International Space Station Roll-Out Array, or iROSA, is installed, cables will need to be mated during an eclipse portion, so this spacewalk is very carefully choreographed to ensure that this timing takes place as necessary. And you are seeing this view from the helmet cam of NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg, who is completing his first spacewalk today. He's continuing to translate or make his way over to the pallet where the iROSAs are installed.
Crew log bag M on port CETA cart, mater handrail.
Copy, James.
He's currently at the port CETA cart where he's going to temporarily drop off one of his crew lock bags. And he's also going to pick up an APFR, an articulating portable foot restraint, which will allow him to step into and ride on the Canadarm2. Hoburg will be carrying the iROSA while he's on the Canadarm2 in order to move it over to be installed. Today's solar array will be installed on the 1A power channel on the starboard truss of the International Space Station.
"30 seconds to a short handover.
And we are in a brief expected handover between satellites, but we'll regain communications and video with the crew during their spacewalk here momentarily.
Steve, Woody, I'm back with you after the handover.
Jenny, I copy. And I see that small bushing on the lower iROSA. I'm passing it.
Copy, you have eyes on the FOD. Thanks, Steve. Woody, you will be picking up the APFR in with 3. Looks like you're already there. Should have an ingress aid.
And it does.
And this view from NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg's helmet camera as he works to pick up the articulating portable foot restraint from the port seat cart.
Benny, just reporting the locking paddles on this APFR is very sticky.
Copy. Sticky locking collar, Woody.
Working on it. The paddles.
Copy the paddles. Woody, this is in line with what we expect for this APFR.
Okay, I'll be EV2 TCV 7.
Copy, a TCV of 2 for Woody.
Negative 7.
Copy, 7.
All right, just confirming that the adjustable large small goes to 0008, and the integral goes to the upper handrail.
Affirm, that's right, Steve. That handrail should be 13. Once that's done, I'll take a glove inspection hap check.
All right, let's get that in place.
And while Hoberg works to secure that articulating portable foot restraint after grabbing it from the port seat cart, we are going to hear Bowen complete a glove and hap check.
On your VRT, you're headed to the inboard ingress location.
The hap is the helmet absorption pad, and this is checked regularly throughout the spacewalk along with the gloves just to ensure that everything is performing as expected. With the articulating portable foot restraint now in hand, Hoberg is going to work to install it on the Canadarm2.
All right, I've got the integral on 0013 and the large small adjustable on 008.
Copy.
Push back up a little bit.
Woody, I have your next step,
Right.
working with Frank to GCA to the published APFR install position.
All right, James, I agree. Steve, do you need the comm?
Just for 1 second, I'm going to head over to R5 on the upper. And I see it. And what are my settings there, Jenny, if I'm going to lose talk?
And Steve, can you confirm that you've picked up the PGT, left the RET on the bag, so that's now on your swing arm, and I need a glove inspection hap check.
Okay, to do the globe inspection head check first.
And we were getting a view there briefly of the iROSAs, and there we see it again here, the International Space Station Roll-Out Arrays. There's two on that pallet on the very left of your screen. One of them is going to be installed today, and the other will be installed on June 15th. We're also getting a view of the Canadarm2, which Hoburg will be utilizing today when he moves the iROSA to the 1A power channel.
Give me 1 second. All right, Jenny, I have the PGT, and you want me to leave this rat on here, correct?
Affirm. Leave the rat on your swing, or leave the rat on the bag, and rat swap to the swing arm rat.
All right, that's going to work. If you give me the PGT settings, we can give the comm to, please.
Bravo 2, counter 2.
Bravo 2, counter 2. All right, I'll let you know if we get contact before I've done, if I haven't done it yet.
Copy, and that was a good readback.
Steve, you good? I am Jared Woody. You can have the comm. Copy, thanks.
And also in your frame there you can see a Dragon vehicle that actually brought up the ISS Roll-Out Solar Arrays. That Dragon docked to the International Space Station on Monday.
Awareness is going to be bringing the arm towards you, that is station.
Following the docking, the ISS Roll-Out Solar Arrays were removed from Dragon's trunk and placed on that pallet that you just saw there. And next, our spacewalkers are going to work to remove that first iROSA solar array by removing some bolts and working through some procedures to loosen it up before it can be hand carried by Hoburg on the robotic arm.
Half a meter to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue. To go.
Continue to publish.
10 to go, continuing to publish. Ramping out. Okay, with you, that is our published position. How's that looking?
All right, Sultan, can you please give me 50 centimeters station nadir?
Copy with the half a meter station nadir in work.
Thank you. I see good motion.
Copy, good motion. $30 centimeters to go.
Continue.
Continuing. Ramping out. That is half a meter station nadir.
Copy, Sultan. That is GCA complete. That's a perfect position.
All right, copy. GCA complete and brakes are coming on.
Copy, brakes on. And I'll be installing the APFR.
Woody, we're looking
That's
for...
affirmative. You are go to install the APFR.
Woody, we're looking
Copy,
for
go.
a clocking of 12.
The clocking 12, and I already confirmed Papa, Fox 6 set.
Good settings. Steve, I'm back with you.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm at 5 turns, Bravo 2, counterclockwise 2, and releasing R5.
Copy. The boat will spring out when fully released, and you'll see a white line indicator. Expect 18 to 20 turns.
Hoburg continuing to step through procedures to get that articulating portable foot restraint installed on the Canadarm2. This articulating portable foot restraint, or APFR, allows him to click his spacewalking boots into it so that he can ride aboard the Canadarm2. He'll be carrying the iROSA while he does so.
The APFR is installed in the arm. Walking at 12, Papa Papa Fox 6. Colors black on black, good pull twist test, and the pitch knob can be depressed.
Copy, Woody. Good checks. Now we'll need you to perform a safety tether swap to the arm. Let me know when your yellow hook is on the SSRMS tether point, and I'll take your checks.
All right, sounds good, Jenny.
All right, that bolt is released. I got 27 turns. I let it do a couple of bumps so that it would verify that it was clear.
Copy, 27 turns and the bolt is fully released. Can you see a white line indicator?
And there's a white line indicator.
Copy, you can stow your PGT.
And we are currently in an expected handover between our satellites. We do have communications with the crew, however, we do not have video at this moment, but we'll regain it.
Copy, translate to stanchion Bravo.
Hoberg has completed installing the APFR on the robotic arm.
Jenny, my yellow hook is gate closed, locked, black on black for the SSRMS tether point. Green hook is stowed on mile marker 6360, and that green reel is unlocked.
Copy, Woody. That is a good config. Ensure that Steve's tether is clear of your green hook, and then you can work with Frank to get to the ingress position.
All right, let me get eyes on Steve's tether. It's well clear. I am in a great config for APFR ingress. No GCA needed.
Okay, Woody, we are copy and brakes are still on. You are go for APFR ingress.
Copy. Brakes on. Go for ingress. Thank you. Still on.
Woody, you need to attach a waist tether to the ingress aid.
In work, Jams. Thanks.
And Steve, say again if I missed a call from you.
I'm at stanchion Bravo.
And Hoberg has successfully gotten that articulating portable foot restraint installed on the Canadarm2. He's now going to work to click his boots into the articulating portable foot restraint and ingress it. This will allow him to fly on the Canadarm2. And you are seeing him work to ingress that APFR on your screen right there.
Lower iROSA R5. All right, so I've got Bravo 2, counterclockwise 2, going to R5, and looking for a full release and a white indicator.
Good words, Steve. Expect 18 to 20 turns I have written here.
18 to 20 turns, okay.
And Steve, I'm going to look for the comm again when you have a chance.
Hey, we'll take the comm.
Thanks. It's on. I'm ready for trust back off.
All right, copy. Woody, you are ready, and brakes are coming off.
Copy, brakes off.
Woody, ensure check your tools and tethers are clear. We need you to confirm that.
Thanks, James. Yep, tools and tethers are all clear.
Copy. I agree. You are go to proceed. Woody, we also are hearing that your left safer handle might be up. We need you to check both of them.
Got it. Your team was correct. And both safer handles are down.
Copy. Both safer handles down on Woody. Thank you. You guys are doing great on time.
Woody, ready when you are. We're going to bring you first station forward about 80 centimeters, and then station later 3 meters, 60 centimeters.
Ron, I'm ready for all of that. You go.
Then starting motion, station forward.
Motion, Sultan.
Copy, good motion.
And as you can see on your screen now, Hoburg now being moved while in that articulating portable foot restraint on the Canada arm. That Canada arm is being operated by United Arab Emirates astronaut Sultan Al Nayati, who is inside the International Space Station. Hoburg is going to be translated to a better position to help NASA astronaut Steve Bowen remove some bolts and an anti-rotation device which will enable the iROSA to be released from the pallet. Following this, Hoburg will hand carry it while on the Canada Arm 2 over to the 1A worksite.
Okay, 2 meters to go.
Continue.
Okay, continue. One meter to go.
And this view from NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg's helmet cam as he is on the Canada Arm 2. Looks like he's taking this opportunity to get some truly out of this world photography.
And ramping out.
That looks good, Sultan.
It would be just a heads up. Next, we're going to take you to the Volt axis, join OCAS. That'll be 2 minutes and a half.
I'm ready for that. Okay, thanks, Sultan. Hey, Kenny, I've got Bravo 3, counterclockwise 2 set up. There were 20 turns on the lower iROSA with a good white band.
Copy. I understand R5 on the lower iROSA is released with 20 turns. You should be pretty much at the bolts for C2. We are going to work on releasing these anti-rotation devices so you can attach an adjustable equipment tether and from your small trash bag to the ARD tether point.
Okay, let me get that done.
You are ready when you are for the join OCAS.
I'm ready, Sultan, thanks.
Then starting motion.
Copy.
Good motion, Sultan.
Good motion.
And Hoburg continuing to be moved on the Canadarm2. Meanwhile, Bowen is working with the pistol grip tool, or PGT, to release bolts. This is a restraint bolt. Next up, he's going to work on releasing the anti-rotation devices. All of this is in preparation for ultimately removing the International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array from this carrier, this pallet that it is temporarily stowed on. And as Hoburg continues to make his way over to his first work site, the International Space Station is currently flying 258 statute miles off the coast of Nova Scotia over the North Atlantic Ocean.
Woody, we need you to repower your HECA.
Copy. Power off, then power back on. You got it. Oh, actually, Jenny, I just pressed the power button and I see a green light, so it should be on now.
Yes, we just needed you to power it on. That's correct. It was knocked off earlier.
Okay, copy.
Getting a really great view here of Woody Hoburg in the articulating portable foot restraint.
Counterclockwise to
Good readback.
the 10 turns, correct?
Yes, 10 turns only. A reminder, these are not captive, so we only want to release 10 turns.
10 turns only.
And in Hoburg's hand, you can see the PGT, or pistol grip tool. This is essentially the space drill. It's going to be utilized a lot throughout today's spacewalk, first to remove the iROSA from the pallet and then to reinstall it on the 1A power channel.
Copy. Thanks, Jams. Good reminder. I have Alpha 4 counter 2 set for R1 and R2.
Those are good settings, Woody. It doesn't matter to us which of these bolts you do first, but the bolts will spring out when it's fully released. You have the same settings for both of them.
Copy, Jenny. Thanks.
All right, I get 8.8 turns.
Copy. That was 8 turns,
See if I can.
Steve, and you can remove the ARD, and then we'll be torquing back this bolt.
All right, pulling the ARD off.
And so, Sultan, I'm ready for
Came off recently.
Okay, Woody, we need a few seconds to set up our values here.
Take your time.
That ARD is removed.
Copy. ARD removed. Your settings are Bravo 1 clockwise 2, and you'll be driving this stop block bolt to torque.
Bravo 1 clockwise 2. That's set.
Good settings.
Bravo. One clockwise 2.
Woody, ready for the next motion? So it's going to be body N, meter and 60 centimeters.
Sultan, that sounds great. You go for that motion.
Copy. Go and start the motion then.
We are 48 minutes into today's spacewalk, and NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoburg are continuing to work together to remove bolts from the International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array in order to release it so that it can be carried on the Canadarm2. To step through the next set of procedures is I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Anna Schneider, who's going to step through the next set of procedures with you.
That's all right. Yeah.
Okay, 1 meter to go, Woody.
Continue.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, I copy 11 foot-pounds and a green light. Could you say turn count again?
Count was 0.5.
Half a meter to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue.
We're just checking on those turns, Steve.
The bumper rolled on top of the mount. You might not get as many turns as you might have expected.
Okay, so it's on stop motion.
But you can look at it. It's on there nice and snug.
Woody, we are in the public position and you are go for unbolting.
See where it's on there.
Copy,
It's not turning. It's on the bump. It's on the mount. It didn't go past the mount. See it?
Now you can see NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg beginning to release the R bolts.
All right, Steve, I'm sorry, one more time. We're going to have you say what you saw on those turns and whether you will have you translate to Stanchion Charlie for the Charlie 1 ARD.
Okay, heading over to Charlie for
The bolts that Hoburg is working on are on the boom end of the upper iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array. The first two bolts will allow the boom deployment system rollers to be moved into place to help with the array deployment later in the spacewalk.
And we see you rotating the deployment system.
Bolt sprung out, and it was 9.5 on R2.
Copy 9.5. That is a good bolt release, Woody. We need you to access R3 and R4 next. You can GCA if you need to. I have new settings for you, and as a reminder, these will be the 245 turn bolts, so we need you in a good body position.
You just heard confirmation that Woody Hoburg successfully released 2 of the bolts, and he's moving on to the second set.
And Woody, we are ready.
Okay, so it's on half a meter station, half a meter body down.
You copy half a meter body down. Okay, starting motion.
Copy. Motion.
Copy, good motion.
You're hearing some conversation between NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg and UAE astronaut Sultan Al Niyadi, who is inside the space station operating the robotic arm as he moves Woody Hoburg down a little bit to access the next set of bolts.
Okay, you can ramp out.
Stopping out. Motion stop.
GCA complete.
Copy, GCA complete.
Steve, once in position, you can tether to the ARD tether point, and then I have settings for you for the stop block bolt.
complete. And I'm ready for settings.
Bravo 3, counter 2, 10 turns only.
Bravo 3, counter 2.
And Jenny, I have Alpha 3, clockwise 3 for R3.
Copy Alpha 3 for clockwise 3. Verify your PGT turn count is 0.
Confirm it's 0.
Copy PGT turn count is 0. You can release R3.
Copy. Starting turns.
Copy, Woody.
The second set of bolts that Woody Hoberg is currently working on will release 2 of 4 mechanisms that hold the ISS Roll-Out Solar Array in its rolled-up configuration. When folded, the iROSA measures approximately 10 feet by 2 feet by 4 feet.
Got 8 turns, and it's loose. Pull the ARD.
Copy 8 turns on the ARD, or on the stop block bolt, you can remove the ARD.
Removed, the ARD is removed. Ready for settings to drive back in.
Bravo 1, clockwise 2.
1, clockwise 2.
30 seconds from short handover.
While NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg continues to work on those bolts, NASA astronaut Steve Bowen continues to work on the anti-rotation device.
Copy, Steve. You've driven the stop block bolt, 12.1 torque, 7 turns, and a green light. Steve, I'm back with you after the handover, 12.1 torque, 7 turns, and a green light. You can stow the ARDs in the crew lock bag.
All right, heading over there.
NASA astronaut Steve Bowen has released both of the ARDs, or anti-rotation devices, and will begin stowing them in his crew lock bag. Here on the screen, we continue to see NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg work on releasing the second set of bolts on the boom end of the upper iROSA.
All right, ARDs going in. And I think I pull out the tool, the copy caddy.
Affirm, Steve. Those are good, good words. We need the 5/8 12-inch wobble on your PGT, and you can stow the 7/16 on the socket caddy.
All right, and I'll put that in work. ARD is nice and stuffed in here.
Copy.
Jenny, 245 turns, R3, turkey timer popped out.
Copy, 245 turns on R3 with the turkey timer popped out. Your settings are alpha 3 turns on R3 with the turkey timer popped out. Your settings are alpha 3, counter 3 for R4.
Alpha 3, counter 3, set 0 turns on the PGT.
Here go.
Starting turn.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is currently working on the last of the 4 bolts. These last 2 bolts release 2 of 4 mechanisms that hold the iROSA or ISS Roll-Out Solar Array in its rolled-up configuration.
The 12-inch wobble is a good pull test on the feather caddy, going for the 5/8 12-inch.
Steve, I copy a good pull test on the 7/16 12-inch on the socket caddy.
That's correct. All right, good pull test on the 12-inch 5/8 wobble on my PGT.
All right, and good pull test on the 5/8-inch, 12-inch on your PGT. Steve, now we will be breaking torque on the iROSA FSE bolt. You can translate to bolt Charlie 1, which is stanchion Charlie. Should be right next to you.
Charlie 1 right next to me. All right, there's Charlie 1.
We'll be breaking torque on this bolt, less than half a turn. Your settings are Bravo 3, counter 2.
Bravo 3, counter 2.
Good words.
And I want to get myself in a good position. All right, Bravo 3, counterclockwise 2.
Good words.
Less than half a turn, correct?
Affirm. And big picture for all crew, we are about a minute and a half from an LOS. We have voice comm for the first 5 minutes, and for the last 5 minutes, I'm still prime IV. I will hand over to Frank when I need to.
And Jenny, if you want copies, and I had 0.54 turns on C1.
Copy. Torque broken
Jenny,
on C1.
copy.
You can translate to C2.
copied. R4 release 245 turns, turkey timer out.
Copy, Woody. Great job. R4 release, 245 turns, and you see the turkey timer. You can work with Frank to move to the carrier back off.
You just heard confirmation that NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg finished releasing the fourth bolt. That bolt was holding the iROSA in its rolled-up configuration.
Woody, and this is basically bring you body out 1 meter 60 centimeters, and that is station forward.
You also heard them reference something called a turkey timer. That is basically just a status indicator to ensure that the bolts are fully released. We are now in an expected handover that will last about 15 minutes. We are currently about 1 hour and 5 minutes into today's spacewalk. It began at 8:25 Central Time this morning, 9:25 a.m. Eastern Time, when the spacesuit switched to battery power. Steve Bowen, who is EV1 with the red stripes, egressed the crew lock and received a crew lock bag, and then EV2, who is Woody Hoburg, followed him shortly after. Bowen then translated up the forward face of the truss and went starboard, configuring his safety tethers on the way, and then Hoburg followed a similar path, but went to the port crew equipment translation aid, or CETA cart, to temporarily stow his bag and retrieve the articulating portable foot restraint. Bowen then translated to the iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array carrier, stowed his bag, and retrieved the pistol grip tool. Bowen began preparing the iROSA for removal from the carrier, first releasing a restraint bolt on the upper iROSA. Meanwhile, Woody Hoburg relocated the foot restraint and installed it on the space station's robotic arm. From there, Woody Hoburg ingressed the foot restraint, and then the arm moved him away from the truss and towards the work site. Bowen translated to the lower iROSA and released its first restraint bolt, and then released both anti-rotation devices on the upper iROSA and stowed them in the crew lock bag. While on the robotic arm, Woody Hoburg was flown over to access 2 different sets of bolts on the boom end of the upper iROSA. The first 2 bolts allowed the boom deployment system rollers to be moved into place to help with the array deployment later in the spacewalk, and then the second 2 bolts released 2 of 4 mechanisms that hold the iROSA in its rolled-up configuration. The goal of today's spacewalk is to install an iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, to augment power generation for the 1A power channel on the space station's starboard truss. The new solar arrays measure 60 feet long by 20 feet wide once they're deployed, and shade a little more than half of the original solar arrays, which are 112 feet long by 39 feet wide. Each new iROSA produces more than 20 kilowatts of electricity, and once installed will enable a 30% increase in power production over the station's current arrays. There's about 6 minutes left in this 15-minute loss of signal before we'll return to seeing Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg working on today's spacewalk. Once we're back, we'll see Steve Bowen working on releasing the upper iROSA restraint bolt and installing the first two handling aids called scoops in preparation for removing the iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, from the carrier. Currently aboard the International Space Station, we have the Expedition 69 crew, which includes NASA astronauts Frank Rubio, who is inside the space station helping with today's spacewalk. Also inside the space station is UAE astronaut Sultan Al-Niyadi and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin. And then, of course, our spacewalkers today are NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg. Here in the room, we have flight director Diane Daly at the helm, and she goes by the call sign Horizon Flight. And then serving as the prime ground IV, we have Ginny Gibbons. There's about 1 minute left in this loss of signal, and then we'll quickly return to seeing what Woody Hoberg and Steve Bowen are progressing. Today's spacewalk is the 264th spacewalk in support of space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades, and the 7th spacewalk out of the space station for this year.
Sultan, I'm ready to
You have 40 centimeters to go. Start
motion.
with motion.
So during that loss of signal, Steve Bowen released the upper iROSA restraint bolt and installed the first two handling aids called scoops in preparation for removing the iROSA from the carrier.
Clear, continue.
You can now hear some discussion between NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg, who is on the Canadarm Robotic 2, and UAE astronaut Sultan Al Niyadi, who is inside the space station maneuvering the arm.
How's that looking, Woody? Do you want any further GCA?
Yep, assessing. Stand by. Could I please go body down about 20 centimeters?
They are flying Woody Hoburg to the hinge end of the upper iROSA. Once there, both Woody Hoburg and Steve Bowen will work to remove the final bolts holding it to the carrier, and then Steve Bowen will install a second scoop, and Woody Hoburg will then lift it off of the carrier.
Holding.
And Sultan, that's a great spot. GA complete.
Copy, GCA complete, and that was 15 centimeters body down.
Perfect.
We copy GCA complete. Woody, attach a RET to the scoop, which is on iROSA.
Okay, James, I have a RET on the scoop on iROSA, left side.
Copy. Warning for both of you.
Okay, Jenny,
Steve, go.
I have the first scoop on my mini workstation. It's the long duration tie down tether. Do I need to bring the RET with that, or do I leave the RET? Transfer to Woody's RET. And the adjustable as well.
You can leave the RET. You'll stow it on your mini workstation, and Woody will use a RET from his mini workstation in order to tether to it.
Okay, so
We can get ahead on our checks here. So a warning for both of you, do not release C1 until I give you the go.
Copy. Copy.
I'll take a glove inspection and hap check from Woody.
There's no change to the gloves. Cap is dry. I can also report visor down, glove heaters on, TCV set for reference.
Copy. Good glove inspection and hap check. Cooling, visor, glove heaters are set. Check gauntlets down.
They're both down.
Check tools and tethers are clear, and your ingress aid is clear.
Tools, tethers, and ingress aid all clear.
Check heels secure in the APFR.
Yeah, and James, did you guys happen to get eyes on my heels just for positive confirmation there? Or can Steve see them?
Checking. Woody, we do not have eyes on your feet, but Steve could potentially check if you need.
hold on, it's going to take a bit to rotate here.
Okay, I'm feeling quite confident, so
I think you look pretty good, Woody. I think they're in.
Yeah, I agree. All right, heels are secure, James. Thanks.
Copy, Woody. Those are good checks. We will pause here.
And Benny, when I transfer, I am not transferring the adjustable to Woody, just the scoop and the long duration tie down feather, and I keep the adjustable with me to pick them up later, correct?
Checking, Steve.
I think it's just a scoop and a long duration.
I do too, but I want to make sure.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. So there's
keep the-
no requirement to take the adjustable with you. You can have it if you want, but we just need the scoop and the long duration tie-down tether bundled together and the ret swap to Woody's mini workstation.
Okay. Understand. And Woody, if you have a rat, I can give you.
I sure do. Here's a rat. I don't know if you can reach me. Oh, yeah, you can send that over here.
I got several things on there right now, so.
Okay. See it? So goal is to get this rat on the scoop.
Yeah.
Okay, it is on, so scoop.
Okay, you can at least put that adjustable then.
You got it.
Keep the long duration.
Is coming back.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let me get that clipped on here. And I will get set up.
Copy. We have a couple of additional checks here as well. We need a glove inspection and HAP check from Steve and a buddy check of each other's helmets for signs of water.
Have your visor down. Yeah, Steve, your helmet.
Actually, stay right there, Steve. Okay, I have a good view into Steve's helmet. I can see his HAP and his HAP absorption band, and I see no signs of water.
I agree.
Copy.
Steve, I'll flip my visor up for you.
And I see no signs of water. I see your helmet absorption band and notification of water. Looks good.
Great.
My gloves are the same. They're still good, and my hat is dry.
Copy. We have good checks. And as a reminder, Woody, we track you holding that scoop at this time. It needs to be redded to you, but Steve needs to be holding it. He will be the one installing it after C1 release.
Yep, concur.
All right, let me go to the good hold for area. Thank you.
Yep.
We are now about 1 hour and 27 minutes into today's spacewalk. Before Woody Hopeberg and Steve Bowen remove the final bolt holding the iROSA to the carrier, they're performing a series of glove and HAP checks.
EVA. You are both doing great on time. We are an hour up.
All right, copy that.
All right, great, James. Thanks.
All right, next as written, I have Steve releasing Charlie 1 fully. Woody, you are going to maintain control of iROSA as he releases that bolt and installs the scoop.
Okay, Jan, sounds good. I've got iROSA.
All right, I need settings.
Bravo 3, counter 3, fully release C1. The bolt will spring out. Expect 26 turns.
Bravo 3, counterclockwise 3, and about 26 turns, and bolt should spring out. All right, that's starting right now.
Good words.
You just heard the ground IV here in the room, Jenny Gibbons, speak with the NASA astronauts outside the space station, Woody Hopeberg and Steve Bowen. They were given the go to release the iROSA. So both crew members are now working to remove the final bolt holding the iROSA to the carrier. Bowen will then install a second scoop while Hopeberg lifts the iROSA off of its carrier.
All right. I've got 7 turns. Come off. I think I need to turn a few more, but not 3 of this bolt.
Copy, 27 turns,
So
going for more.
Turns. Now that seems very loose. I got an additional 10 turns. How does it feel, Woody?
Yeah, I think it feels, quite loose.
Okay. Restore my PGT and get the scoop in place.
That's great.
Good words.
have the scoop locked on, and I hope that's a good config, Woody.
That's great, Steve. I have iROSA.
You have iROSA.
Ground copies, we agree we're in a good config. Steve, we need you at the grapple tower to assist with this GCA. Make sure iROSA clears the grapple fixture, and I have cautions and a warning for both of you when ready.
And I am in a good position to watch clearances from the grapple fixture and ready for warnings.
Caution, prior to removing iROSA, ensure the FSE is not moving. Steve, you stay still on the FSE during the release. And warning, don't put your fingers in or around any of the pin slots mounted on the inside and outside of the root beam. With that, I will let you work together to release iROSA. To do that, Woody, you will be sliding iROSA away from you to release from the FSE pin slot interface.
Hey, James, I believe that has already happened.
I think so, too.
Copy.
I still have control of it. We're looking good.
All right.
I'm ready for GCA.
You're go to work with
Steve,
Frank.
over to you for GCA.
All right, Frank, if you're ready, I'm ready for the iROSA back-off position. I've got a good eye on the tower, and I'm looking for this to go straight. And Woody, it's drifting a little bit toward the tower. You want to bias it a little back. Okay, that's fine. Good. Ready to go, Frank.
All right, Steve, we copy, and for this motion, we expect about 4 meters, and for Woody, it's going to be body down.
Okay. Great.
And we are starting motion.
You heard confirmation that NASA astronaut Steve Bowen has installed the second scoop onto the carrier, and Woody Hoberg has lifted it off of the carrier. There will now be several maneuvers with Hoberg on the robotic arm, and then he will arrive at the 1A mod kit worksite. During these maneuvers, Steve Bowen will pick up the temporarily stowed crew lock bag from the port cart and reconfigure both of his safety tethers on his way to meet Hoberg at the mod kit.
We are clear of the pin. Continue.
Continuing, we have 3 meters to go.
Continue.
Oh, we continue.
Houston copies. Since we are clear of the grapple tower, and this is a procedure to published position, I'm going to pick up comm with Steve. Steve, perform a socket swap. I need the 5/8 12-inch wobble on the socket caddy and the 2-inch from your trash bag on your PGT.
I understand the 5/8 going to the socket caddy, the 2-inch from my trash bag coming on my PGT.
Good words. I'll take pull tests for everything, and then you will be cleaning up the crew lock bag with everything inside of it, doors facing the FSE.
From this view, you can see NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg attached to the space station's robotic arm as he moves away with the International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array.
The meters published.
Continue.
We're continuing. And ramping out.
Copy.
Okay, that is the public position, Woody, and just a heads up, our next motion is going to be the iROSA pitch join of all counts of 2.5 minutes.
Copy, Sultan, I'm ready.
Okay, Jenny, I have a good pull test on all 3 sockets on the socket caddy. I'm going to stow them in the crew lock bag first before I do my 2-inch.
I copy, Steve. You have completed the pull test, correct?
That's correct. And all 3 of the sockets on the socket caddy, that's complete.
Copy. Again, you can stow that socket caddy. We'll have the crew lock bag buttoned up with the doors facing the FSE and the adjustable equipment tether cinched.
Good.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg continues to make his way on the robotic arm with the iROSA to the 1A mod kit worksite.
Okay, so on the outside of the crew lock bag, I should have the needle nose, a wire tie, and an adjustable. And then I need a small adjustable attached to the lower handrail. And then this rat should come with me if I'm reading this correctly. Is that correct? There should be no rat on the outside?
That ret can go into the bag, Steve.
Understand, I'll just put it in the bag.
On the left side of your screen, you can see the helmet camera of NASA astronaut Steve Bowen. He is currently working to pick up the temporarily stowed crew lock bag from the port cart and reconfigure both of his safety tethers on his way to meet Woody Hoberg at the mod kit. Once they both arrive at the mod kit site, both crew will then work to install the iROSA onto the 1A mounting bracket.
Woody, we are ready for the iROSA pitch. Join OCAS, and we will give you a countdown before we start. And just remember the pitch maneuver.
Ron, that's perfect. I'm ready.
All right, then starting join OCAS in 3, 2, 1. Starting motion.
Okay, lower small cinch down. Okay, the upper stanchion. I'm going to set the back facing the stanchion.
Copy, Steve. Great work. Once complete, you can translate off of the FSE via the POA.
All right. Setting off the... Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do my 2-inch transfer when I stop again. So the 2-inch in my trash bag, didn't put it on the PGT yet.
We need that 2-inch on your PGT, Steve.
I understand. I'll get it when I stop.
Okay, that sounds great. You can do that at the mod kit.
I have to go pick up the bag and pick up Woody's tether.
Hey, firm, your first step once you are off of the FSE is to retrieve your green hook from 3011.
Okay. I'll do that then, right there.
Our next motion is going to be an outboard journal cast of 3 minutes.
Fine, I copy and I'm ready.
We are starting motion for the journal cast for the EV outboard.
Okay, I'm ready. Another countdown would be great.
Copy. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Good motion.
Copy. Good motion.
Currently on your screen, you can see NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg as he is on the space station's robotic arm, moving the International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array to the 1A mod kit worksite. Today's spacewalk is the 264th spacewalk in support of the space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades, and the 7th spacewalk out of the International Space Station for this year. Today's spacewalkers are NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoburg. They are working to install an iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array. This will augment the power generation for the 1A power channel on the station's starboard truss structure. The new arrays, once unfurled, measure approximately 60 feet in length by 20 feet wide, and they shade a little more than half of the original arrays. Each new iROSA will produce more than 20 kilowatts of electricity, and once installed will enable a 30% increase in power production over the station's current arrays. This spacewalk is the 9th spacewalk for NASA astronaut Steve Bowen and the 1st spacewalk for NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg.
Copy. The 2-inch is installed on your PGT with a good pull test.
And just heads up, with the next motion is going to be an IA lineup for 4 hour and expecting 3 minutes.
Sultan, sounds great. I'm ready. All right, green hook is retrieved.
Copy, Steve, you have your green hook. After this, you'll get the bag and Woody's green hook.
All right, picking up the bag and Woody's green hook.
Good words.
Okay, Woody, we are ready to start the motion, and this will put you in lineup position under the IEA.
All right, Sultan, I'm ready.
Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1. Starting motion.
Motion.
Copy, good motion.
Steve and Woody will be in installation in about 2 minutes.
Hey, copy. Thanks, James.
We are now about 1 hour and 48 minutes into today's spacewalk. We are actually about an hour ahead of the scheduled timeline. Once they arrive at the ModKit site, they will begin the process to install the iROSA onto the 1A mounting rocket.
On my BRT and releasing it from the SCADA cart.
Copy, Steve.
During the installation process for the International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, the crew will release the scoops, and Woody Hoburg will then move into position to release the final bolt holding iROSA into its folded position. Once released, Woody Hoburg will hold iROSA closed. Once released, Steve Bowen will hold iROSA closed while Woody Hoburg egresses or exits his foot restraint and gets into position. Both crew will then work together to unfold iROSA and secure the right side onto the mounting bracket. Once secured, Woody Hoburg will then drive 2 hinge bolts that iROSA into the unfolded position.
And bag is stowed. Going to retrieve Woody's.
Copy, Steve. Woody's green hook is at around mile marker 6300.
300.
A-firm, it'll be on 6360 exactly.
Heading back that way. That's his green hook.
Copy.
Woody, we are ready. Will you go for the GCA to publish iROSA install?
Sultan, I'm ready. I see body left.
That's affirmative. We are expecting a first motion of body left, and it's going to be 2 meters, 40 centimeters, and then followed by a body up, and that is 70 centimeters.
Okay, sounds great, Sultan. I'm ready.
Okay, I have Woody's green wheel on my right waist tether. Now I'm going to translate out to 4.
Copy, Steve. And I might have missed it, but I need to check that reels are unlocked and your gauntlets are down.
All right, wheels unlocked. Gauntlets are down. I'm going to start my translation.
Copy. Like you said, you're headed to the S4 IEA. I have words on where to attach Woody's green hook when you're ready.
I'll give you a call in a minute.
And Woody, we are ready to start motion body left in 3, 2, 1.
On the big loop, for all crew, do not start this next motion. Stand by 1 while we sync up on the ground.
Okay, ramping out and then standing by.
That was good motion, Sultan, but hold position now.
More information for all of you on that call. Everything is looking like it's in good shape. You guys are doing great on the timeline. We just, since we are ahead, we want to hold and get all crew in position. That means we'll have time for Steve to drop the green hooks and get in a good position by the mounting bracket before we go to the install position. From there, we will push with the procedure as written.
Okay, Woody, be waiting on me.
You're doing great, Steve. Thanks for doing all the work while I just ride the arm.
And IV crew copies.
All right, great job, everybody.
From this view, you can see both astronauts working on today's spacewalk. In the upper right-hand side of your screen, you see NASA astronaut Steve Bowen as he works to configure some safety tethers and work his way over to the mod kit site to meet Woody Hoberg. And then a little bit further down is NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg aboard the International Space Station's robotic arm, holding on to the International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, or iROSA, as he makes his way to the mod kit site.
All right, I get my bearings here.
Copy, Steve.
All right, give me 1 second.
You're looking for hand
So I'm looking for which handle number for his screen.
2219.
And I'm ready to 3219. I'm ready to drop this hook here. Give me a moment.
Copy. And you'll be fair leading Woody's tether around the outside edge of the IEA.
The outside edge of the IEA for his fair lead. Copy.
Good words.
And Steve, just for awareness, I'm right behind you and a little to the left.
All right. your green hook is now on 2219. And I release my base tether.
Copy. Good words,
See it
Steve.
turning back, and it looks clear of my tether.
Good words. And confirm the reel is unlocked.
And his reel is, see a big U, unlocked.
Good config, Steve. You can continue on your translation path. Your next step is to drop your green hook, handrail 2218.
2218, heading down to 2218. All right, I'll be dropping my green hook here at 2218.
Good words.
Okay, green hook is on 2218.
Copy. Green hook 2218. Check your tethers are clear, and you're good to continue.
My tethers. Steve, I've got a good view. It looks great. All right, that's good to hear. Check my waist tether here. Don't mind for a second. We're going to get this untangled from my PGD. Absolutely.
Copy.
Do you have much of a view? I see my tether clear now.
Copy, Steve. I have a
And,
caution.
to be clear, I meant the... James. Go ahead, Jerry.
Your caution is avoid translation on the PVR handrail near 2230.
2230.
Steve, you'll continue your translation to the left side of the mounting bracket. Check your tether routing for snags and crosses, and place fair leads such that your tether is running around the perimeter of the IEA.
Okay, I'm going to get myself in a config here. Okay. Looking for a fair lead on the corner, I guess. 235.
I have your fair lead handrail written as 2248. But 235 is fine, Steve. It will do the same thing.
Okay. We'll be right in the same spot.
Copy. That sounds good. We are 45 seconds from a short handover.
Okay, translating up to the lower mountain.
Copy, Steve. And once you are in a good spot, you can resume this motion for the iROSA install position.
All right, let me drop my bag off real quick. Actually, where are you, Woody? Oh, there you are. There I am. Give me 1 second to get stable.
All right, sounds great. Over to Frank and Sultan. Ready to continue.
Okay, copy. Ready to continue, Woody. And again, this is going to be a continuation of the body left. And we'll give you a countdown here in 3, 2, 1. Starting motion.
Motion.
Copy the motion. Only 2 meters to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue. Meters to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue. Half a meter to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue. Ramping out body left motion.
That looks good.
Right, ready to start the body up motion.
Stay firm, ready for body up.
Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1.
Motion.
Copy, good motion. Half a meter to go.
Continue.
Copy, continue.
Hold position there.
Hold position.
Feels a little high, actually. I think
You're a little high and a little short. You need to come toward me another 40 centimeters.
I see that, Steve.
And you are still a little high.
Yeah, Sultan, could I come... Stand by checking.
You got to take the scoop off when you get closer up, though.
Actually, this feels pretty good, Sultan. Can we just go body in? Like 20 centimeters?
Woody will give you that body in 20 centimeters. Starting motion in 3,
Can you take your hands off, Steve?
2.
All right, here you go. Continue.
Okay, starting motion in 3, 2, 1.
Motion.
I agree.
Okay, good.
You are hearing conversation between NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg and Sultan Al-Niyadi, who is a UAE astronaut inside the space station operating the space station's robotic arm.
I'm ready to take the scoop off.
All right, the soft docks are set. They've not been cycled, but they were
Yep, I
cycled
see
just
them.
a little bit ago.
Houston's back with you.
That looks great.
We see that the soft captures are in a good position. We do not need to cycle them. Steve, hold iROSA steady while Woody removes the scoop. And I have some cautions and warnings I need to read. Warning, when you're on the aft side of the mod kit, Steve, avoid contacting the legacy blanket boxes and trunnions. Caution, while you're both on the mod kit, don't simultaneously impart loads. Sudden stops and quick grabs are not allowed on the mod kit. 30-pound max lateral load on the mod kit. And finally, confirm no BGA motion prior to installing iROSA.
Copy all.
Copy all. Sounds great, James. Thank you.
And Stephen Woody, just to confirm that you don't need any further GCA, and we'll call it complete.
Concur. GCA complete.
Can you give me 20 centimeters toward the mass canister? What do you have enough for that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's GTA complete. I agree.
All right, GCA complete, and brakes are coming on.
Copy, brakes on.
Houston
Before we
copies,
bring this
brakes are on. You can work together for install.
just go slow, Steve.
Yep, I agree. Went real slow this way.
Yep.
Losing my perch here.
Okay.
More to push toward the mass canister. Okay, I see them starting to get in. Oh, they can continue toward the mass canister.
I'm running up into something. Let's see. Get eyes on it.
Both of our spacewalkers have made their way to the 1A mod kit work site. From here, the crew will work together to install the iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, onto the 1A mounting bracket.
Are we aligned with the slots?
We are in the slots. We are just waiting to continue to the left. How does the soft dock look on your side?
They're still popped out. Do they just need to be pushed down?
No, they should be fine. Should come right through. All right, if you can still come toward the mass canister, that's all we need.
I'm running up against something when I try to push that direction.
Okay. You push your side, I'll hold mine.
Let me just look at it real quick.
Okay.
Steve, your HECA might be contacting iROSA and preventing the soft dock. You might have to adjust your body position.
Oh, I understand. Okay, working on that. Yeah, let's try that, Woody.
Pushing hard left. And it's just...
How does the soft dock look?
You know what, I think we need to pull up on the soft docks. Maybe to let it pass. See if I can get that. Yeah, that's the problem.
All right, let me get this one.
Okay, I think I'm in on my side.
And let's try to get that.
That's good, Steve.
All right,
okay, my side's in, soft dock, or soft capture pin went in.
Mine is not in, I don't think.
You're really close. You might be in the detent, so try popping it out of the little detent. Yeah, turn it a little. Yep, and now in.
Let me look.
Yeah, I think it's just in the little lip that holds the pin. I think we're in the right position with iROSA. And you're...
Okay, I'm just going to get this outside real quick.
Yep. Try me into your right.
Yep, I see it. I'm hitting it. All right, let me try and get down here.
There you go. Nice.
20 seconds to a short handover.
Copy, James. Copy, James. It needs to turn clockwise from above.
Clockwise from above.
Other way?
Other way.
Yep. Now it should go in.
We are in a brief but expected handover period. We'll receive camera views from the space station in about 10 seconds.
I'm going to try and get her better.
Houston's back with you.
How to get there.
Okay, so Jenny, just to describe what we're seeing, we believe iROSA is in a good position. The centermost...
Okay,
Steve just
got
got
it. A little bit more.
Got 2 pins in.
Yeah, we agree. We have a really good view from your HECA, Woody. So good job at this point. iROSA is soft dock, so you can release your RET from the scoop and maneuver to the R6 backoff. Steve, for you, you're finalizing the config for the crew lock bag, and you will eventually receive the scoop bundle from Woody when he's ready.
Yes, any chance you can pass me a threat when you get a chance? Sure, give me 1 second to get on. Thank you.
For both of you, we are just over 2 hours into an EVA tracking for 7 hours and 30 minutes. Limiting consumable is battery on Woody, and you guys are still about an hour ahead on the timeline. Well done.
Thanks, James. Cover it the other way to give you the route. Okay. If now's not a good time, we can wait. Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me drop off the bag, and then it'll... well, here, can you reach this? Yeah, that might work. Coming at you.
The crew is now working to release the scoops. And then Woody Hoberg will move into position to release the final bolt, holding iROSA in its bolted position.
Maneuver for that. Let us know what you need.
Sounds great. I'll be, oh, actually, ooh, I bet I can just do that. Let me take a look at that.
If you have the position, your go, Woody.
The settings, James. Okay.
Bravo 2, counter 2.
Copy your bolts. Another scoop on long duration.
Yeah, you should have 2 scoops there, Steve.
Okay, you ready to get your rep back? I'll give it to you.
Let me know when you, yeah, go ahead.
Here it comes. Get it?
Super. Yep, I got it.
All right, let me get this
Thank you.
Steve, once you temp stow these scoops and the long duration, they can just be temp stow for now, but that's up to you. At the crew lock bag, we'll need you to position to hold iROSA in a folded config while Woody does this bolt and then egresses the APFR.
Let me get the bag in place, and then I'll be pretty much set to do that.
Bravo 2, counter 2 set, James.
Copy. Those are good settings. You'll be releasing R6. The bolt will spring out when fully released. You'll see a white line indicator. Expect 18 to 20 turns.
Wait 1 second.
You want me to wait?
Yeah, because I'm not in a place.
I gotcha. I'm in a great place to control it, though, Steve.
All right. Well, if you want to stay there, then that's fine. I just got to put this bag in place and clean up.
That's great.
Start.
Okay, Jenny. 15 turns, and we got the white line visible. Hinge bolt is released.
Copy. R6 released. 16 turns. You see the white line. You can store your PGT.
Complete. And Frank and Sultan, for your awareness, I suspect my plan will be to hop out of the arm here eventually.
Woody, we copy.
And then the bag to the handrail and the scoops to the bag.
Nice job, Steve.
And I get the bag off my BRT. Okay.
Copy, Steve.
Those scoops go in the bag?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
They do eventually, but in the procedure, that'll be around the time when you retrieve the AMS knob. It's just crew preference. You can temp stow them for now if you want.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
For you and for Steve and Woody, we copy, Woody, that you think you can egress from here. That's no problem with us, and we're coordinating with Robo and the IV team. Steve, we see you getting in position to hold iROSA folded. We'll need you to do that while Woody egress is using only the ingress aid.
All right, let me get my hand on the other handrail. I got something to hold on to.
Yeah, take your time, Steve. Just watch your helmet is hitting the other side of iROSA.
Yeah. All right, let me get my feet up then. I'll do that.
Got tons of time.
NASA astronauts Woody Hoberg and Steve Bowen just worked to release the final bolt holding iROSA, or the ISS Roll-Out Solar Array, in its folded position. From here, Steve Bowen will continue to hold iROSA closed while Woody Hoberg egresses or exits his foot restraint and gets into position.
Yeah, we saw that. Thanks, Woody.
After that, the crew will work together to unfold iROSA and secure the right side onto the mounting bracket.
1 second to figure out what to hold on to here.
Absolutely,
All right,
Steve.
I think what I'm going to do is this. Okay, I think I get my body around here. All right, what do you think I'm good?
Okay, just so you know, your HECA is like touching iROSA, but as long as you're not pressuring it, it should be, yep. Looks like it's just light, so
Yep.
Should be a good config. All right, Steve, you've got it.
I have it.
Okay.
For your awareness, we see that contact. It's on the root beam, and ground's fine with it. So you two are doing a great job. Woody, you can egress using only the ingress aid.
Yeah, only the ingress aid. My feet are out.
Copy. You can check the ingress aid is low profile.
Actually, that is going to be interesting. Let's see.
You get on the stanchion, you might have GCA just to get to that.
I might need a GCA just to stow the ingress aid,
That'd be
unfortunately.
easier, yeah.
Take a look here real quick.
And Woody, we copy and we're standing by.
Okay, thanks for phone. Actually, I got it, so disregard.
Ground copies all.
From this view, you can see that Woody Hoberg has egressed the foot restraint from the robotic arm.
All right. Steve, I am in a, let's see, get my eyes on this soft dock. Yeah, I'm in a good position.
You want to cycle it, I can keep holding it to make sure it's free.
I want to think about my safety tether, so...
Yeah.
NASA astronaut Woody Hoberg is now moving into position to unfold iROSA to help secure it to the right side of the mounting bracket alongside NASA astronaut Steve Bowen.
Might have to just have them move to that position.
Yeah, we might need that.
And as soon as it's clear, we can open this.
Yep, I agree with that. James, is that making sense to you guys too?
Woody and Steve, we've been talking about the arm position and your tether here on the ground, and we think it's best if we maneuver to the tether swap position.
Yep, that makes sense to us too, James. We like it.
All right, you can initiate that with
Woody and Steve.
You can initiate that with M1. Once you do that, since that's a published position, I have some big picture words for you because we need to pause anyway before you put in a fair lead, Woody. But you can go ahead and coordinate with M1 for now.
Great. Sean, we're ready for you to move to the published tether swap position.
Okay, Woody, we copy. This will take us 3 maneuvers to get to that position, and we'll let you know when we're there.
All right, sounds great, Sultan. I'll be watching while the arm's near us.
We'll be starting with the backup position, and we're expecting about 2 meters, like in your body was body right.
Okay, yeah, body right looks correct. That sounds great.
Okay, brakes are coming off.
Woody and Steve, we're just getting those big picture words together for you. We have another couple minutes, and then I'll have them.
James, sounds good. Bring on the tether to get clear.
All right, I have
Okay, Woody, we start in motion now.
Go.
I have those big picture words for you. Let's let M1 start the next motion, and then I'll pass them. All right, I understand M1's already maneuvering to the backup position, so you guys ready?
Yep, good motion. Ready.
All right, big picture, you are doing great. We have a really good timeline laid out in front of us. So good, in fact, that there is a potential that the next eclipse could be our working eclipse for our cable mates. That's in around 25 minutes. So we might break out of bolts and take that opportunity while we have it, and I'll keep you both up to date on that. There is no rush because, again, our nominally planned eclipse was the following one. How copy?
You want copy?
EV2 copies. That sounds great, James.
It does.
All right, good. Next piece of information I have for you is that we have noticed that a grounding pin is out of place on the mod kit. It's at the base of the mounting bracket, where the mounting bracket meets the left lower strut. After the unfold, we're going to have to address that grounding pin. It should be no problem, but I will let you know, and I'll give you those words again when the time is right.
Okay.
And just to be clear, that's on Steve's side, and we don't want him to check it now.
Yep. I'm not going anywhere. I can't let go.
We agree. Please keep hanging on. All right, that's...
Jesus. Hard to be some light.
Those are all the big picture words that I have for both of you. We will pick up after these robo maneuvers with a fair lead for Woody, and then start to work toward unfolding iROSA. Your warning is that this is a pinch point, and you'll need to keep clear of rotating iROSA.
Your fair lead, is that straight down?
I was wondering that too.
But you might be able to head that way, and then when he gets a little lower, just drop it.
Your fair lead is going to be on the right lower strut, lower handrail, Woody.
lower strut, lower handrail. Got it.
That means once really I have a good assessment of when this will be clear then.
And Woody, you need to hold. The reason why we're waiting is because we cannot put the spare lead in while the arm's moving.
I understand, James. I was just checking out the location. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Okay, Woody and Steve, we are starting. Our next motion is going to be a journal cast, and it will be 2.5 minutes.
Okay, we copy. There they go.
Starting motion.
Stable, what do you could take some pictures of our dragon?
That's a good idea. Stand by.
We are about 2 hours and 27 minutes into today's spacewalk as NASA astronauts Steve Bowen and Woody Hoburg continue to install the International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array onto the 1A starboard truss. They are about an hour ahead on their scheduled timeline and now targeting a working eclipse about 21 minutes from now for the cable mating.
And since you have your visor down, you can take a selfie, you'll get the whole, pretty good chunk of station.
The cable mating is when both of the crew members will work to electrically connect the new iROSA to the International Space Station's power system. They'll first attach 4 connectors to iROSA, and then both will move to either side of the legacy solar array to disconnect the old array and connect a Y cable. This will allow power to flow from both the new iROSA and the old legacy array to the space station's power system.
Woody, when able, power on your HECA. It's been powered off again.
Green light, that's good.
Complete, James. Thanks.
Copy all. Thank you.
Is the arm even moving? From my perspective, it's not moving.
Yeah, I concur. I think they're setting up for the Joe cast. Okay.
And Woody, we are starting our next journal cast. It will last 3 minutes, and then we'll sync up with you, and it's going to be step in here to meet with you and for the tennis swap.
Okay, continue. Sultan, we're ready.
Okay, starting motion for the journal cast.
Motion.
Perfect motion.
From this view, you can see NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg near the iROSA, or International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, and the robotic arm is currently backing away.
See, Jenny, if I happen to have a cap keeper in my hand, would it be a good to remove the J1 through J4 caps?
You can do that, Woody.
Okay, copy, thanks.
On the other side of the folded iROSA is NASA astronaut Steve Bowen. Steve Bowen is continuing to hold the iROSA closed.
And there's your tool. Ah, yes. Good hook. What's that? That's a good hook? A good release? Thanks, Steve.
You are seeing the helmet camera of NASA astronaut Woody Hoburg as he configures some of his safety tethers. Once his safety tethers are reconfigured, the crew members will work together to unfold iROSA, or the International Space Station Roll-Out Solar Array, and secure the right side onto the mounting bracket.
Hey, farm.
floor cooler.
I agree. Just grab the AMS knob while I've got it.
Probably a good idea.
Houston copies.
We'll do the NGGL maps too.
Yeah, let me look at that. Stand by.
Okay.
And AMS knobs ready to my MIDI workstation.
Sounds good.
And J1 through J4 caps removed, Johnny. They're in crew lock bag M.
We copy, Woody.
The scoots in, Steve, too.
Yeah, if you can put them in, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course. Have an integral ret for them, right?
Yeah, there should be a ret available for that. The one that you left, yep.
Here it is. Want the adjustable external?
I don't think we need an external.
Okay. Yeah, let's put that in the bag.
Jay, do we need the external for the adjustable? Are we going to use that later on to grab anything else?
On crew lock bag M.
On crew lock bag M?
No, we won't need that. You can stow that inside the bag.
Okay.
For both of your awareness, a couple more minutes here, and then we'll be able to get moving again. Do a good job getting a little bit ahead on the crew lock bag.
Perfect.
I'm not sure if you heard the area call, but we are set up and ready for maneuver to telescope position.
Okay, sounds great, Sultan. You are, go.
Hey, copy, go.
Since this is a published position, Woody, you also have an option of assisting keeping iROSA in a closed configuration, so stopping it from unfolding while Steve, addresses that loose grounding pin.
That sounds like a great idea, James. Let me get in position, and then we can do exactly that.
I just need to push on that side here, so.
Starting motion now.
Copy, Sultan.